have your content running, maybe reduce your client load, but make it intentional. So November, not the last week before school finishes, which is generally the first or second week of December here in Adelaide, but generally the last week of November or the second to last week of November, I would always have a super huge week. I would put everyone in there for a follow-up.
Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists, coaches, and practitioners. This podcast responds directly to the needs of you, the practicing natural therapist. We have interviews during the holiday season and business and mindset support each week, so you'll get the variety you need to enjoy and stay motivated in your practice. Don't forget to subscribe to receive the weekly episodes. And if you want to connect with me, always check the show notes, because that's where you'll find the links to book appointments and, of course, to join the Academy, the membership group, where there's constant connection and community with like-minded practitioners. Now, let's get started.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mentoring with Geraldine and the Bite Size Podcast. How the devil are you? So the last couple of weeks, I have been talking about Black Friday, etc. We're not going to talk about that today. What we're really going to nut down, because last week I was talking about setting yourself up for summer, and I just thought, let's be a little bit more intentional than what are you offering right now and how to set up for right now, because we need to plan so that December doesn't destroy your nervous system, because we really are getting close to the end of the year. I have these conversations toward the end of the financial year when I'm saying to you, make sure you've done all your paperwork and you've done all your books and you're up to date and you've paid everything for this year. What we want now is for you to be going, okay, we've got the end of the year, we've got the summer holidays coming up, and what is our strategy for the summer holidays, for all of that space? So what does December and January look like for you? It's going to be different for everyone. As you know, and as I've told you before, if you were here, you might not have been here. So first time, welcome. But what does December and January look like for you? So for me, always, it has been very intentional working days that are very structured. So I still see my Monday group a couple of times. We meet 3 times over the December-January period rather than twice a month. We just meet the 3 times, and it's one payment in December for all of December and January. And we're kind of back to work in February. Group goes back properly. So on those days, I have structured working day. I meet people, I do mentoring, and mentoring happens on other days as well. But those are very much my structured working day. Okay, so what does yours look like for you? Have you already set those working days? Have you already figured out that maybe the child swap for some of the days so that somebody else is looking after your kids and you're looking after theirs, so that they can do things in preparation for Christmas or, New Year or Hanukkah or whatever the heck it is that you're doing over the summer season. So we need to get you sorted and thinking about how you can reduce your hours, have your content running, maybe reduce your client load, but make it intentional. Okay. So November, not the last week before school finishes, which is generally the first or second week of December here in Adelaide, but generally the last week of November or the second to last week of November, I would always have a super huge week. I would put everyone in there for a follow-up. Okay. Everyone got a follow-up. There were follow-up phone calls, follow-up appointments. Everyone was in there. I would have them set and structured for the summer. If they needed to come back for an appointment, they were on one of those few very structured days over the summer. So I worked every single day on those clients. It was very structured. Often, the last few years that I was doing that many clients, I would get myself a student or a new graduate in to help me for the day, so that I had someone making the herbs, making sure the follow-up was booked in, making sure the payment was taken, and they were learning because we were smashing through the clients. So I would do that pre-COVID. Now I'm online. I don't actually need anybody else to help me. Actually, it would be nice sometimes, but I don't need anybody now that I'm online. So, because they're not in the room with me, it's a bigger thing when people are in the room with you. So what does your summer look like? Is it structured yet? Because it needs to be structured. Can you bring everybody back before Christmas because you've reduced your hours over that summer season? Those people that you're bringing back in, that is your money then for the summer, isn't it? So we need to get them back in November, not just so that you've paid your bills, but so they are all seen, so that they're all up to date, so that we've got their prescriptions sorted over the summer. They're not contacting you saying my prescription's expired or I need extra this or that. It means that you're up to date, they're up to date. Everybody knows what's happening. If they need to come back in over the summer period, maybe a telephone call rather than them coming in to see you, you can restructure to be able to fit those people in. Restructuring. Remember, I've talked about making sure that your systems suit your client, and it's okay to change things up and do it differently for different clients. Okay. So there's things you'll need to get done. You got your last newsletter or blog for the year that you might have to write. What are your hours? Keep saying, are they set in stone? Have you gone to Google My Business? Set your hours in there. What are your return offers? We talked about this the last couple of weeks. What is it that are going to be the return offers? Is it the back to school offer? Is it the, New Year's offer? What is your coming back offer? So have you perhaps created a welcome back campaign and pack? This is what we need to do now. We're back. Here's a meal plan. Here's a whatever it is. Okay. You have November energy going on here, or at least I have November energy going on because I've got springtime's going on outside. The birds are singing, or in Australia, they yell, but same thing. But I have a lot of energy right now that I'm putting into my business so that I can have a fantastic summer. I will still have money coming in. I'll still have people coming in, but I'll have them coming in on my terms. Okay. They come in on my terms. Everything is set up for my Black Friday offer. The emails are going out. You should have received some already. If you haven't, quick sign up so you can get them and then you can see what's in a Black Friday email. Book in for a summer strategy session. You don't have to book in for the whole 90 days. You can book in for a half an hour and we can set you up with a strategy as we move forward. Okay. We can get the VAs doing things for you for next year if that's what you want, if that's the help you need. All right. But we need to get whoever does it, you do it, the VA does it, whoever does it, autoresponders, social posts, booking reminders, they all need to be ready. They all need to be coming out. So last week we talked about intentional application. Who are we selling to without being salesy? Who are we telling that we're available, that this is what's available to them, and making sure that it's really structured and directed at the right people, at your past clients, at new clients. Where are we going with this and what is it? What content is it that we're sharing? What is this welcome back campaign? We need to make sure we're summer ready. And that's what you need to pop off and do now if you're not doing anything else. If you're driving the car, keep driving the car. I do the dishes quite often when I'm listening to podcasts. So finish the dishes if you're like me, dry up, and then put the dishes away, and then go and sit down and make some of these intentional, conscious decisions about your summer strategies, what's going to happen. But go in and close the booking, open the booking, make sure Google My Business knows what you're doing, make sure that you've got it written everywhere in your diary so you know what you're doing. And now is a great time to do that, to be really set up. Also, booking limits. So I have booking limits, so people can't book in, I think it's a month, actually. I think it's about a month. It's not very long, my booking limit. And then they can't book in. So you've got to book in now. The person wants to book in now. I want you to book in with me now. So I want you to go and look at my booking page, and then you'll see that there's a few weeks available and then nothing. And you're like, oh, we've hit the booking limit. All right. Because you've thought about it now. I want you to do it now. All right. And that's the same thing that you want with your client. You want them to see that it's available now. You want them to book now. If you're fully booked out, if you are chockers, then you need to have a program in there. You need to have a pre-program. All right. So you say, do this longevity pre-program. So there's the done for you program that I have. You can just use that one. And that's all set up. It's via email. So they're getting their emails every week, and they can be starting on something like that before they come to see you. All right. And you can structure it, the diet or whatever. You can structure all of that pre them seeing you because you've already directed. You're seeing hormonal problem people, or you're seeing more thyroid problem people, in which case you'd be saying, well, here's the diary, we need you off the gluten, we need you off the milk, we need you off this, we need you on that. And so you can go through and do those in a done for you program because you're fully booked out. They do the program first and then they come in to see you. They're already diet ready by the time they see you. They've already done a lot of the prep work. So think about if you're full, that's what you can do. If you want to get full, what can you do? It might be a program first. It might be the available program because they'll do it. They'll get to know you during that program and then they book in with you. There might be something they do first because we need these contact points before we book in. All right. I'm going to leave it there today because last week's was a bit longer than normal. So next week probably is the Black Friday, isn't it? So maybe we'll talk about the behind the scenes a bit of an offer and how things go and how things run. Maybe that's where we'll move to next because this month really is about prepping for the summer season before we have our guest over the summer. So yeah, maybe we'll do a bit of looking behind the scenes. So anyway, great talking to you. Look forward to catching up with you really soon. You know the deal, pop down, give me a review. I'd love you to, please. Anyway, I look forward to catching up with you on the next podcast. See ya.
Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. If you'd like even more support and learning, then the Academy is for you. Here you'll find part 2 of the herbal discussions, more clinical learning, and case studies to support your clients in practice. Bye for now.